Hello and welcome back to Mental Health Matters. My name is Andrew Ditzel and this is episode 29. Today we have on Sabrina Balducci. She is going to be sharing her story about things she's been through in her life in today's episode called Rediscovering Your Best Self. We'll be right back after this. All right, so I just gave Sabrina a brief introduction here. I am going to hand it over to her. Sabrina, thank you very much for coming on to the podcast today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Of course. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
All right, so, my name's Sabrina. I am a physical therapist. I just graduated in May of 2025. I am a CrossFitter. I love to CrossFit and I coach. It's super fun. I'm also new to the running world, so I've been running quite a lot recently.
Yes.
And I love music. I love to sing. You'll often see me like singing and dancing literally in the clinic with patients. So that's just kind of my go-to.
Good vibe. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
That's great. And I think all positive things, at least from my personal experience, running, music, all positive things for our mind and for ourselves.
No, absolutely.
That's great. And I'm happy your running journey kind of got me inspired to really have you on the podcast. Seeing how much you're running and all the work you're doing with that. So that's great. And I want to be able to run like that. I'm getting there.
Yeah.
I'm getting there.
It's long hours, I'll say that much. And it's not always easy or fun, but for the most part, it is a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, it does. It takes up a lot of time running. It's something that when you commit to, you're in it.
Yeah.
Like you run 20 miles. You're not out there for 15 minutes. You're out there for a long time.
Yeah, it's true.
And I think one of the best things, at least for me with running, is you get to a place in your mind. Like you go through all different phases, like however deep you are, you know? Like, for me, it was like, and I've ran a marathon before, and you get to 10 miles and you're like, wow, like I'm in this state of mind right now.
Yeah.
And then you have 16 more miles to go and you're like, holy cow, I got to keep this mind going here.
Yeah.
Because for me, and I guess it's different for everybody, but for me, it's more mind than body.
No, 100%.
When you're running that far.
Yeah. Even this morning, I ran 20 miles. And when I got up to, I want to say it was probably about 10 miles too, I was like, wow, I'm feeling so good. Like, I just need to keep this up. But then it's like, oh, but I need to keep this up. Like, that's another hour and a half of my life. Can I do it? And, I mean, thankfully today I did, but it's not always like that. So.
Yeah. And it's good. I think it keeps your mind on, you know? It's like it keeps you in it. It keeps you involved in a positive way. So that's good. That's good. It's a challenge.
Yes.
Awesome. So I'm super excited for you coming on today, and I think we're going to have some really good stuff to talk about. And as always, talking mental health, and everybody has their own experience, what they go through. And I want to ask you, what was your first encounter with mental health in your life?
Yeah, so I want to say this goes back to undergrad, right? So I went to school in Binghamton, and I mean, if you've ever been to Binghamton, you know there's like no sunshine ever.
Yep. Similar to Oneonta.
Yeah. So, I mean, I feel like the first 2 years I really loved it, was so into it, and then come like junior year, I just fell into a really bad place mentally. It was my first time, like, obviously I lived on campus the first 2 years, but then moved off campus. I'm in a house with like 22 or 24 girls, and I just felt like so much pressure. I think growing up, I always felt this pressure to like want to be liked and like not to be judged. So I remember like we all shared one kitchen for the most part, which is insane to have like
that's a lot of people
girls,
for one kitchen.
Insane. So I remember I just started like getting so paranoid about, well, I've never really had to cook for myself before. Like, what are they going to say about what I'm making? And I freaked out. And then I realized, like, I also at this point had lost two very young people that I had encountered in my life. One was a close friend since elementary school, and the other was this young girl who I was like in high school. I was her gym leader, is what we called it. And when I tell you, she was like the happiest, most positive person ever. So to hear about those two things and then go back to Binghamton and move into a house with all these girls, I just felt like I had lost complete control.
Yeah. Well, that's overwhelming. And just to chime in real quick, like, that alone is like, that's a lot to carry.
Yeah.
Loss of two people who are close to you in your life. And are a good positive inspiration.
Yeah.
And then I think just the natural going away to college and having to go through that, there is a lot of pressure to that. And it can become very overwhelming. So
Definitely.
I get that.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think growing up an athlete, I knew what I could control was like exercise and food. And I fell into that really heavily. Where I was overtraining and undereating significantly. I remember I started like counting calories. And obviously for some people that has its place, but for me it became so obsessive where there was a point I was eating like maybe 900 calories a day while I was exercising, while I was going to class and studying and things like that. And I feel like so many girls and boys, like, you grow up and you think, if I look this way, I'll be so much happier.
Yeah.
Right? And I really thought that. I was like, if I could just be skinny, I'll be so happy. And I remember it came to a point where I didn't know who I could talk to about how I was feeling because I had just felt so much anxiety and so sad. Like, I felt like I could not be myself with anyone. I took a video on my laptop and I just started crying. And I was like, I don't understand. I thought this would make me happy. And I'm so sad.
Yeah.
And I sobbed and I didn't know what to do anymore. But I still, at that point, didn't think there was anything really wrong with me.
Right.
And I remember, like, for females, when you lose too much weight, or overtrain, you can really, like, you can lose your period. And from that, like, I ended up losing mine. And I remember I would, like, go to the gynecologist and she'd be like, well, if you gain this much weight, then you should be fine. And then I won't have to send you to talk to anyone, which is crazy because I should have gone to talk to someone, like, regardless.
Yeah, that's crazy, right? You would think.
She was like, oh, if you just fix it, like, you'll be fine. And then, of course, they just want to put, like, you on birth control because it kind of covers all your symptoms.
Okay.
And I was so afraid of going on birth control because I was afraid of gaining weight. So, and I had also known friends who, like, started to get depressed and anxious from birth control. So I was like, I'm already feeling that way. I don't need any more.
No more.
So I was like, absolutely not. And I remember me and my mom were at the mall. I was, like, trying on clothes. And she looked at me and I could tell she was upset. And I was like, what's wrong? She goes, I can see your ribs, like, sticking out of your chest. I can see your bones. And that was the first time that it hit me that I was not being healthy at all. So then I was, like, more trying to start to eat better and stuff and, like, trying to prove to my mom that I could be better. So, I mean, I would, like, take pictures of my dinners and be like, look at what I'm eating now, whatever. But it really wasn't until I took this one class, it was, like, the anatomy and physiology of exercise science, and also was a weight training class too. And my professor for that class really, really helped me.
Okay.
Like, she was such a turning point and made me realize, like, exercise should really be medicine and food is your fuel. And it completely shifted my mindset. So
that is a good.
Yeah.
Can you say that again? Exercise
is medicine and food is fuel.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Exercise is medicine, food is fuel.
Yeah.
And I guess you can't use the medicine or the exercise without the fuel or the food that. Okay. Yeah. I like that. I never heard that saying before. Yeah. That's good.
I mean, as a PT now, I always say, like, exercise is medicine, motion is lotion.
Okay, that's a good one. Motion is lotion.
Yeah.
While you're singing and dancing and listening to music.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so I it completely shifted my mindset. I was like going to the gym, lifting weights, like trying to actually get stronger as opposed to trying to get skinnier.
Right.
For the first time ever. And then 2020 happens, and we all go home from COVID. And
Right. So you were a senior at
yeah,
the time. Okay.
senior at this point. So we all go home, and for me, I guess in a way, it was almost kind of a blessing in disguise because I was able to kind of relax and not be so stressed.
Because of the environment.
Yeah,
Like step
yeah,
away a little
yeah.
bit.
And also then I started doing these home like workouts, and I had so much fun with them. I like loved creating different workouts. I started coaching this like fitness class for the library on Zoom. I got some like personal training clients. I thought it was so fun.
That's awesome.
It was so great.
Yeah.
And then I had followed this one CrossFit page on Instagram, CrossFit 516.
Okay.
And I'd always wanted to go, but I was so scared because I think a lot of times girls have this negative connotation with CrossFit where it's like, those girls get so bulky, it's scary looking, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Okay, it's so hard to gain muscle in that way. It's so hard. So that's not true.
Public service announcement right here.
For real.
It's hard to gain that much muscle.
Yeah.
Because I also, and I mean, this is just my understanding. I feel like CrossFit, it's a lot of cardio, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, so it's a mix. Like you have Olympic lifting, right?
Okay.
You have regular lifts, you have gymnastics, and then of course almost everything is for time or an EMOM, and it's like I want to beat the girl next to me or the guy next to me. Like
So
we're
I know
also
what an
competitive.
EMOM is.
Yeah.
I don't know if everybody does.
Okay.
And it's funny because I just learned that like kind of
Really?
recently.
Okay, so an EMOM is a workout that's like every minute on the minute.
Yes.
And it's for like 20 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever your heart desires. So a lot of times we'll do that with lifts. So recently we have this cycle that's back squatting, and it's like every 2 minutes on the minute for 6 rounds, you back squat. And you
Okay.
typically will like build up in weight. But then there are also AMRAPs, which is like as many reps as possible.
Okay.
And in 20 minutes, you need to do as many rounds as you possibly can of the workout.
Okay.
But you also don't want to come out too hot because then you'll just die.
Burn out real quick.
Yeah. Or there's like a workout for time. It's complete 5 rounds as fast as you can. So there's a bunch of different things that we do. And it's so fun. I freaking love it.
Yeah, it seems like this has become not only a hobby, but like your life.
Yeah.
Where it's all these different, you said you did, what was it, the library?
Oh yeah, I did like little, I guess, exercise classes through the library.
Yeah, that is so cool.
Yeah. So then, okay, so with CrossFit, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to join. I don't know anyone there, or like I knew people who had gone to the gym in the past, but I was like, I'm just going to do it, whatever. And I fell in love with it. And then as I was there, it really like reinforced that you need to fuel your body.
Yeah.
Because if I want to keep up with the people next to me, I need to be properly fueled. Otherwise, I'm just going to die out. And it was just like going to that gym, and so many people who go there say this, it's like you go at such the right time in your life. Like I spent years praying for friends that I just could be my complete self with, right? And like friends that I had before that, I love them all with my heart. Like even if we don't talk anymore, like fully I have so much love for them and like my season with them. But I think it was my own personal issues or like mental blocks where I thought, well, everyone is judging me, no one understands me. So because of that, it like made me distance myself. Then so I prayed and prayed, and I was like, God, I just want friends that like that understand me and that I could be myself with. And like if you ask people that I went to like high school or college with, they'll probably tell you like I was an introvert. I'm so not an introvert. I'm so not. But it's just where I was mentally at that time in my life. Where now if you ask any of my friends, because spoiler alert, CrossFit brought me my best friends in the whole world. I love to talk. I love to be with people. Like I want that social aspect like at all times. You know?
I love that.
Yeah.
Because, and I mean, it's just connecting to what the name of the episode is rediscovering your best self.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Like, ultimately, not that you weren't yourself in high school and college, because you were, and you're just learning and growing, but
Yeah.
you really learn your truest self. And I can relate with that so much. Like, just as I get older, I'm starting to realize who I actually am, you know, and like different things, characteristics. Like, wow, I was doing that my whole life, but that's not even me.
Yeah.
Like,
no,
why was I
literally.
even doing that?
Yeah.
And it's funny because you've touched on a couple of really good ideas so far. Like, I may have been doing what I have been doing because maybe I was afraid of feeling judged or wanting to fit in, and all that stuff. It's part of our mental health and how we think of ourselves, how we think of how we fit into society. It's all important stuff that it sounds like you and I both are learning and getting a little bit the hang of.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's great. All right, so I don't want to keep interrupting you. So you're
You're
locked
good.
in with CrossFit.
Locked in.
You got, and also you said you prayed for great friends.
Yes.
And they showed up in a different way.
Yeah. So even just, I guess, going back to that, like, with my faith, right? I felt super alone in Binghamton. And something I forgot to mention was that as I was trying to get healthier, I started going for walks in the nature preserve over there. And like, I grew up Catholic and I've always had a love for God, but it wasn't until I'm walking in this nature preserve, like, by myself, and I see the sun just shine through the trees onto the grass, and I was like, God is with me right now. And it was from that all of a sudden, it was like I had a newfound hope that I wasn't so alone, and that I could really, like, rely on him in that way. And I feel like I've always had this call from him. And it's like, when I need him, I lean into it, and then I slowly shy away. And then I need him again, and I lean into it.
Yep.
So it's like, he always calls you back, and luckily right now I'm back with him, and I don't ever want to stray again. But that's just where I was with that. And so then I started praying for friends, and luckily I got them. Like, it took a while, but I feel like God works so suddenly. Like, you can be praying something for so long, and then overnight it just happens.
Yeah.
Right? So...
Yeah. And it's a weird thing, because someone who hasn't felt that might not get it.
Yeah.
But it's like, when you're persistent and you persevere in prayer, and you're like, I don't get it. Nothing's showing up.
Yeah.
Nothing's changing. I'm still just, like, stuck in where I am. And then it's almost like subtly, like, you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Wait. I am where... Wait a second. I was praying for this for so long, and now we're here. Yeah.
Like, that's what happened, is all of a sudden I was like, wait. I started CrossFit, whatever, then I went to PT school. I'm away in PT school, and all of a sudden I have best friends from CrossFit and from where I worked as an aide, which I now work as a physical therapist there. These friendships from here started growing while I was away at school. And I'm thinking to myself, like, how is this even possible?
Well, we know how it's possible.
Yeah. So I just felt so extremely blessed. And I think with that, and then finding my calling, which was physical therapy, making friends at school, like, I am in such a better place mentally now. And I mean, I feel like we all still have ups and downs. No one's gonna
absolutely.
be like, no one's gonna be like, oh, I'm perfectly better. I never think about this ever. Like, I for sure have days where, you know, body dysmorphia is a real thing, and I'm like, I feel big, and it's like, but no, Sabrina, you're strong, like, enough, like, you do all of these things,
Right.
and it's like, I'll think sometimes, oh, maybe I shouldn't eat that, maybe I should, you know, restrict a little bit, but then it's a reminder, like, no, listen to your body,
Right.
you know, and, like, trying to break these cycles of, like, starvation, binging, stuff like that, like, it's real, and it happens, and sometimes we relapse, but it's just a matter of, like, being consistent overall, I feel like, and finding that good mental place. Like, it took a while to get to where I am now. Like, along with prayer, I would journal, like, 5 things I was grateful for every day.
Yeah, that's a great way to feel gratitude.
Yeah, and, like, 5 things to look forward to. Just simple, because I was like, I don't want to waste my time writing like journal entries, like dear diary, you know?
Right. Well, different things work for different people
Exactly,
too. Like
yeah.
maybe that works for somebody else, but that's not your style.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
what is gonna work for you?
Yeah, so...
And it's good that you found that.
Yeah.
I think something that you're talking about that I love and that I relate with is you got to trust your body, or trust how you feel. I think with me, I've not trusted myself a lot. However that might be. Like, I know I don't want to go do that, or I know that's not going to be good for me, but then I do it anyway.
Yeah.
And really just like trusting, okay, there's literally nobody that knows my body like I know my body. And what it needs, how I feel, what I'm thinking. And I think that's really important.
Yeah.
And you pointing that out, I think, is a huge step in being like, okay, I know what I need. I know what's good for me. I know what I've been through. And I know how to move forward from here.
Absolutely. And I
So
think
great.
that happens even like not with just exercise or food, but even like going out and being social. You know, sometimes you just need a second. Like if I'm feeling off that day and I can't be 100% myself, like why burden myself with doing something that's not gonna completely serve me?
Yes.
You know?
That's the word I was thinking
Yeah.
of. Serve. Yes.
Yeah.
I love that.
I feel like that's hard to learn, but it's so true. Like, you really need to listen to yourself.
Yeah. It's so hard to learn, especially for, I mean, I feel like I have done so many things in my life, and then I look back and I'm like, why did I even do that? Like, what was I thinking, or why did I do that? And even if it's not like a crazy monumental, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that, but just, you're right, simple small things. Maybe like a Friday night comes around and I'm like, I'm just drained, I'm depleted, and like, I'm not going to go out and do that because I want to take care of myself.
Absolutely.
And it's so important to do. I've noticed so much growth with myself in therapy and just learning the past 5 or 6 years after college how important it is to just be in touch with yourself.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself and put yourself first in what you do.
Absolutely.
You've already talked about so much awesome stuff, such depth, but I also want to talk about. You said something that you felt alone when you were in Binghamton, and how you don't need to feel alone, and that God was your calling to make you feel like you're not alone.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, when it's like you're actually physically alone, you could feel alone, but then you could feel okay that you're not alone, even when you're physically alone.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you feel like spending time alone with yourself physically, you were able to not have that feeling of loneliness, if that makes sense?
Yeah. I feel like that's hard because I think sometimes we do get that feeling of loneliness.
Yeah.
Especially, you know, on a Friday night, if I choose to be alone and then I'm scrolling through Instagram and it's like everyone's out, everyone's with people, it's like, what the heck? But I think, you know, learning to be content with myself and my decisions and where I'm at, and that took a while. And I like every morning now, I wake up purposely for my alone time. Like, I love to wake up before anyone else in the house is awake.
I love that.
Because I'm like, I don't want to talk to anyone. I will go downstairs first thing, I make a cup of coffee, for sure. And then I open my Bible, and I read the Word of God, and I reflect on it, and I pray. And sometimes I spend more time with Him than others. But I think even just doing that has almost helped me feel okay being alone and not feel that loneliness.
Right.
And then there are times like later at night, let's say I'm watching TV, reading a book, whatever, I'm always thinking about things. And
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Active mind.
Always.
Active mind all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, how did I even get here?
It's like a rabbit hole. I'll try to trace it back sometimes. How did I get here? Oh yeah, I was thinking about that before. Yeah. So,
That's actually funny. I've never tried that before.
Oh,
Maybe I'll try to do that.
I do all the time. That's crazy. But
Maybe I will try that.
Yeah.
Wow. That would be something. If I were able to do it, and then maybe I'll write it down. People will be like, you need help. I like that though. I might try it. Okay.
So, whatever, I'll be thinking about a bunch of things, and then if something starts to either upset me or like maybe I'll feel nostalgic about something that, used to be and is no longer, whatever the case may be. I'll like start praying. I'll be like, "Hey God, it's me, Sab. I know you know my thoughts. You know what I'm thinking, but here's the deal, and I just need to like talk it out with you." And I do, and 9 times out of 10, it makes me feel better.
Yeah.
Like it just sometimes needing to get it off your chest in a way, or if I don't do that, my friends know I'm notorious for sending voice notes, like always. So if anything's bothering me or if I need to rant, they're getting a voice note. Like I call it like my vlog because I do it all the time, or like on Snapchat, whatever the case may be. Because sometimes you just like need someone to listen, even if they're not physically there. And like I said, I'm so blessed to now have the people who are willing to listen and understand me. And sometimes it's like 3 or 4 of them that get the exact same message, but at least I know like I'm not alone.
Right.
And
that's huge. And we started this question talking about our faith, but then we kind of leaned it into community and support and friends. And it's something that we've talked about on the podcast here a lot, is when you're going through a difficult time, in order to not feel alone, it's so important to have good support and have people in your corner. And it seems like you found.
Yes, absolutely.
You found your people, you found your crew, and do you feel like you can give a lot of credit to them for helping you through some challenging times?
Yes, like 100%. Everything I go through, my friends, my family, they're all there for me. Like, I'm blessed to have such a close relationship with my parents too. Like, I pretty much tell them everything.
Yeah.
And then even with my friends, I always say like, I'm an open book. I'm going to tell you everything.
Yeah.
That's just, it is what it is. Because it's so much better than bottling things up.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I used to do that.
I was just about to ask you, were you a bottler?
Yes.
Because I was a bottler and still bottle from time to time.
Yeah. It's hard to sometimes just be okay opening up about things.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't want to feel annoying.
Right.
Especially if it's something that you're maybe dwelling on and you keep thinking about. My friend Taylor and I will always joke about like beating a dead horse. I'm like, hey, back to beat another dead horse.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But she, like, all my friends, they all respect it. And they're like, no, it's okay. Like, you can talk about this multiple times. So I'm lucky in that sense.
That is great.
Yeah.
And to have that is just such an outlet, right? I think something that you said, which I relate with, is sometimes it can be hard to share things.
Yeah.
And I think especially for me, it's shown up because maybe when I was younger, I didn't have as much deep personal things to share with people. And as I get older, I'm going through more experiences that maybe I don't want to talk about. But like you said, it's so important to open that up and to be able to share that with other people. I'm actually interested about this because it might help me as well. What helped you get from bottling things up to then being more comfortable with expressing how you feel or what you think, or even if it's something small, you know?
Honestly, I don't know when the switch actually happened. Like, looking back, I think it was just maybe having the friends that were okay listening, and feeling comfortable doing that. Like I said, I had a hard time feeling comfortable with friends in the past, being my complete total self.
Right.
And then to have that, it just helped me open up a lot more. But it also could attribute to, prayer and writing things down about how I'm feeling about certain things. Because I think when you do bottle things up, you tend to shove the thought to the side.
Yes.
It's like, I don't want to think about it. I don't want to feel it. So the second I started writing things down or allowing myself to pray on it, I allowed myself to feel it. And once that happened, it's like, okay, if this is what's going on, I know what'll actually help me feel better. And now I know how to communicate this.
Right.
With, like, whoever.
Well, I think that connects directly with, they call it the actually, I don't even know what it's called. It's the triangle of your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions.
Okay.
And they all impact each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's something, I think for me, a lot of it starts with my thoughts. And then your thoughts become your feelings.
Yeah.
And your feelings, you act on those.
Yeah.
So I think that connects with that as well. But what I really like is, I mean, you talked about prayer, you talked about writing things down, but then feeling comfortable with other people
Yeah.
to open up. I think that's
Yeah.
big.
Yeah, it's huge. And like I now, my number one goal, like every day, is one, to make like one person smile at least. And two,
love that.
like, thank you. I'm like, I want
You
to.
actually completed your goal today because you
Thank-
made me smile.
Thank you. But I also want to be like the light in a room. That is my big thing, and I want to like spread the light of Jesus Christ as well. So for me, it's, I have been granted these people that I feel comfortable with. Now let me be a person that other people feel comfortable with. And that goes as far as like even patience. Like you'd be surprised, physical therapy can be a lot of mental therapy. Patients will just open up to you about anything.
Well, because I feel like physical really connects with your mental health.
Absolutely.
Right? Like
Yeah.
when you break a leg or you pull a hamstring, like that impacts someone, especially for someone like me who likes to be active. You
Yes.
know, like if I'm always running.
Yeah.
Like, I just had a cold recently, and I didn't run for a couple days, and I'm like, it's getting to my mental, you know? I'm like, get me back out there, you know? So I could see that. Then somebody goes in with the pulled hamstring, I can't play my sport, I can't swim, I can't do this, and now they're venting to you. So now you're not only a physical therapist,
but a mental therapist, yes. So, and that even goes back to like the connection of sports psychology, which in Binghamton I was a psychology major.
Okay.
And then
so that was a pretty good. Did you know you were gonna do that or no?
No, I had,
Okay.
my sister always told me you'd be a good physical therapist, and because she said that, I was like, no, absolutely not.
That's how you do it. They tell you what to do, shut it
like,
down.
no. But yeah, so I studied psychology, and then once I started getting into physical therapy, right, from working as an aide and seeing the impact that the therapist I worked with had on our patients, I was like, no, this is for me.
Yeah.
And I was able to connect it. Like, if someone tears their ACL and it's like their senior year of soccer, their whole identity is now just like gone.
Yeah.
You know? So I love being able to help people physically and mentally, especially young athletes. Like, I love them to death. But yeah.
That's awesome. And I feel like it's filling what you want because, like you were saying, you want to be the light. You want to help other people out. And you could do that in multiple ways.
Yes.
The physical and the mental.
Yeah, which is nice. And then, like, even with my coworkers, so when I was an aide, I remember the first time I worked a 7 a.m. shift. I was like, all these people are going to be so done. No one wants to be there at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
So I started doing it where I would walk in and I would yell good morning to everyone. Every single person. And they just
Did you annoy some people too?
I think they all loved it.
Okay,
I don't know. At least I hope. No one told me that they hated it. I don't do it so much anymore, but I still try to be like the positive person in the room always.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my greeting all the time when I was an aide. It was just like, good morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Thank you.
I think it's such a good goal to have too. Be the light, make someone else smile. You definitely were the light in the room here today for the podcast. There's no doubt about that. Yeah. I always think like, how can I make a difference? You know, personally in my own life, like, how can I make a difference? And sometimes it could be hard.
Yeah.
But I think like what we're talking about, sometimes the smallest things that you do can really make the biggest difference.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And even if it is saying good morning in a positive, happy way, that maybe that changed somebody's whole day.
Yeah.
You know,
It sets the stage.
Yeah, it's great, and it is like, at least for me, and maybe it's because I try to have high expectations of myself, but I'm like, how can I change the world? What can I do to make such a big difference? And a quote that I actually talked about yesterday at church was a Mother Teresa quote.
Okay.
And it's, if you want to make a difference on the world, love your family first.
Wow.
And I'm like, that's too easy. I just have to go and love my family? I feel like I do that all the time. But it's such a good idea of, like, love your family.
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do. And if everybody did that, how great would this world be?
100%.
Yeah. So you're bringing that to light for me a little bit. Like, how can I be the light? And sometimes it's I want to say the word easier, but it's not what I mean. I'm going to say it though. It's easier than I make myself, the pressure I put on myself, you know, like I don't have to do all this and all that,
Yeah.
but how you can simply be there for somebody else just by
Yeah.
being the light. Like
I
you said.
mean, like Jesus, Jesus was always questioned by the Pharisees, right? And they're like, well, what's the top commandment that God gave? And he says, love. Like, love your neighbor as you love thyself.
Yeah.
And that's it. Just show people that kindness and that love. And, like, faith can move mountains. I don't know. It's just, like, you realize so many doors open from that, whether it's for you or for that person. And you, just the smallest thing, or the 1% can really make such a difference.
Right. I feel like when you say that, you almost feel like it's a cliche thing to say, right? Like,
Yeah.
faith can move mountains.
Yeah.
But, like, really,
Yeah.
actually, though, like, having that genuine faith down to your core makes such a big difference.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah. My mom actually has that quote on our calendar right now. And I turned to her, I go, Mom, how much faith do you need? And she was like, a lot? I go, no, a mustard seed.
That's it.
That's it.
all
That's
you need.
all you need.
How big? Like that,
Yeah.
right? That's awesome. Well, you have been an awesome guest today. And like I said, you were the light in the room without a doubt. And I think people listening to this are going to be inspired by you, what you do, and how you impact other people.
Well, I hope so. And I just appreciate you reaching out and like having me on the podcast. This has been such a blast. I had so much fun talking.
This is great. Yeah. I love it. And you know what? It's a very human experience. And like we were talking about before, everybody goes through different stuff, you know? And like I always say in every episode, at the end of every episode is you're not alone with whatever you're going through, and your mental health matters. So, awesome. I do want to ask you one more faith question because we talked a lot of faith throughout the episode today. But if you were to say how faith grounds you, how would you say that? How has faith grounded you the most in challenging times in your life?
Yeah. I think when things are challenging, right, we wrestle with God. And I used to feel so bad for doing that, but then you realize that's totally natural of a thing to do because we want to know the why. Like, as humans, we want that control. And then it's learning that, you know, I actually don't want my will or my plans at all, right? I don't. I want God's will and his plans because they're so much better than mine. So in challenging times, it's just I need to remind myself that if this didn't work out and I thought this was so great, it's because something even better is coming because that's God's plan for me. Like, that's,
That is it. I want to just give you like a high five or something right now. You just got me pumped. Because that's it, right?
Yeah.
Even if we have a plan and it doesn't work, he knows what's going down.
Yeah, he knows. And I think, like, when we struggle and when we're upset and we're like, God, why? Like, why this?
Yeah.
I sometimes think he's just, like, laughing at us.
Yeah.
Because he's like, you have no idea what's to come. No idea whatsoever. And then you finally make that connection that it's going to be better. And when I'll think about this daily, right? Like, oh, this didn't work out. But then I'll think about, okay, what's coming is better. I know it because I know God, right? I've come to know God. And I'm brought to tears every single time.
Yeah.
And it's come to a point where now I wake up and the first thing I do is I pray to Jesus, like, what is your purpose for me today?
Yeah.
Where do you want me to go? Who do you want me to talk to? Like, what can I do to serve you? Right? And that has changed everything. Just knowing that he has a plan and shaping my day based on him, it's just great.
Yeah, it's liberating is the word that comes to my mind.
Yes.
Like, it really is just as stressed and as active as my mind could be and working against me.
Yeah.
That if I know that if I just follow him and trust him that day, I'm going to make it through.
Yeah.
And I'm not only going to make it through, I'm going to do what he wants me to do. And that's what I'm here for.
Absolutely.
I have in my room, I have a sign, like, when I wake up on the ceiling, and it's like just a piece of paper, and it says, follow him. Taped there.
I love that.
And I wake up, and I'm like, all right, that's all I got to do today?
That's all you gotta do
That's
today.
not too bad, right?
I love that. That's so good. So good.
I was inspired by The Chosen.
Oh, yeah?
And you said you watched it, right?
Yes.
And the scene of Matthew. You know Matthew? He's the tax collector, and he's like the weird, quirky.
Yeah, yeah.
He's a little socially awkward, not
him.
understanding the
Yeah.
cues and everything. And he said, I forget who he's talking to, but he says, you know, my mind gets all jumbled, and I don't know what I'm doing, and I get stressed out and overwhelmed. But I know if I just follow him, everything's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
And that when I watched that scene, I literally watched that scene from the show, put the sign up right there, and it was like, because it's such a, for me at least, stress relieving or anxiety relieving thing to just follow him, and that's it. Trust him, trust his plan, and know that whatever he is doing is better than what I can even make up in my own head.
Absolutely.
So, awesome. All right. You've been the best. This is great. Thank you so much for coming on. This is awesome. Guys, remember, your mental health matters, and you are not alone with whatever you are going through. Sabrina was absolutely the light on the podcast today, and I am excited for the other light that you're going to shine wherever you go moving forward. So, thanks for coming on, and we will see you back here next time.